DJ Tygga Ty in the mix.
Bobby, what's going on, man? I can't even see you. There you go. Oh, there we go. What's up, big dog?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. My apologies, man. My damn earpods, I couldn't find them. I was like, damn.
All
anyways, just want to kind of introduce myself to you, man. I'm DJ Tygga Ty from Rochester, New York. I've been getting wind of who you are, your music, and I definitely want to give you your flowers while you're on this earth, man. I've been doing research on you the past couple of days, and I'm like, man, I didn't know that he did this, he did that, and it's definitely motivation for me. So
Man,
just want to give you your flowers first off.
Thanks, man.
So a couple questions that I definitely want to get into real quick. I know you've been doing interviews. You might hear some of the same questions over and over, but I definitely need those answers. Let's start off with the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Like, what was it like to see a project that you was part of become something so monumental in the culture?
I mean, it's always a great thing to have, impact with the culture, especially providing a lot of happiness for people during a very difficult time, and for it to, win the Grammy and be able to share that moment with friends and family was special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you ever see it reaching that point when you first started doing that? Like,
I would say so. Like we knew we had something big, and I think after seeing it go so crazy with people doing the dance and all of that, and then adding, Beyonce to it, it's like it reached a point where it was like, why would it not? To be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most challenging part about being on projects like that? Like when you first starting it out?
I don't think there really is one. If it's when you put great energy out there, you attract being in rooms with other great people. And I think that was the situation. That situation,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what it was. Like, it's always great to work with great people. The same way when it's easy for Kyrie Irving, KD, and James Harden to play together because they all great. And this was a similar situation.
Okay. Now, as an artist yourself, I've seen that you dropped a project and you had a lot of features on there. Rick Ross, Benny the Butcher. He's actually from the area that I live in. He's from Buffalo. That's like an hour away from me.
Right.
What was it like being in the studio working with artists like that?
I mean, it's always great to collaborate with other greats. I mean, Benny the Butcher is one of my favorite rappers. We didn't get a chance to do that record in studio together. It was something, I cut on my end, and then we sent it off to him and his team, and then they sent us the verse back, and it was like, all the last year I was, I was riding around to the What Machine Gun Do project, the whole Griselda project, and then the Burden of Proof album with Benny and Hit Boy. And that was one of my favorite albums of last year, that Burden of Proof album, and also the 𝙏𝙮𝙜𝙜 and Freddie Gibbs project, Alfredo. So I know, like, I walk around with the energy like I'm the best rapper, and the beat that I got to rap with the best rappers, and and Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs fall into that category, and I was glad we was able to put that record together.
Okay. Was there anybody that you wanted on the project that maybe didn't get a chance to get their feature to you in time, or was it just like, okay, I got everybody on there, I'm all set to go, and you was happy with the project?
Yeah, I mean, that's I think that's always going to be the case to some degree. Yeah, there's certain people we reached out to, but we had a pretty strict date, and there were certain people we reached out to that I don't think we really had enough time to get their features back. But the features that was needed, we got, which was Ross, Benny, Freddie, Lecrae. I had that one already, in Hollywood Baby.
Okay. Now, these relationships, like you talked a little bit about sending the project over to Benny, the Ross situation, because I seen I did a music video for that. Like, were you guys friends off of, the Def Jam situation, or was it just like it was just like organic, like, okay, you know what, I've been working with people in his camp, and then it kind of connected that way? How did that work?
I mean, I would say just people gravitate towards good music. After, I cut my parts to Penthouse Prayers, we had a dry erase board in the studio, and we was like writing out, like, which artists we felt would be great to accompany certain records, and we all collectively agreed like Ross would be great for Penthouse Prayers. So We you know, got in contact with his team and sent him the record, and he sent his verse back less than 48 hours later, just off the strength of loving the music and loving the song and what it was about. And then, you know, we shot the video, you know, some months after.
That's dope, man. That's definitely dope. In regards to you as an artist, being a writer, and also being an influencer, because I'm pretty sure, like, now that your fan base is starting to grow, you have a lot of people that are watching what you're doing. How do you balance it all? Because you still have personal life as well too. How do you balance it all
out? I mean, by putting things in its proper perspective. You know, I'm an artist first. I've been doing that for the longest. You know, I was already signed to a major before like any of the songwriting things took off. I think for me, focusing on making the best art possible, that energy and that intention is bled into the other areas, you know what I'm saying? And that's really been the energy. And from a personal standpoint, my life's purpose, I use music as a tool to get that out there, which is, you know, spreading the word about manifestation, the power of the mind, the power of your thoughts, the power of people, you know what I'm saying, materializing the things that they visualize, and music is my tool to do that. So they kind of go hand in hand on a personal and career level.
Okay. Was there any times inside your career during this journey that you kind of got discouraged? Like, what did you do to kind of motivate yourself and just keep the energy and to keep the positive vibes intact?
I would say by having the end in mind. So like basically I imagine like a higher version of myself, and I try to get that imagery as clear as possible. And once I hold on to that image, I know that any struggles or hardship that I get along the way, that's just gonna be a small blimp in like my story. Like when you see somebody documented and it's like, yeah, like, you know, during this time, you know, it was hard, but we made it through. I'm like, anytime I was going through something, I'm like, okay, this is just that little part in the movie. This is just that part in the story. So I was never really super discouraged, because I knew that it would pass. Like any hardships and disappointments that I had, it would just pass and just be this small 5-second piece of my movie, of my life.
Okay. Yeah. Now, seeing we just getting out of this pandemic, right? You know, COVID had us in the house for like a whole year. That's a whole year of not being able to tour, connect with fans, do live performances. And as things are opening back up, like what are the locations that you're looking forward to going to perform at?
Man, all around the world. I mean, at this point, you know, I had plans on wanting to do that last year, but you know, obviously with COVID and pandemic and quarantine, that didn't happen. But yeah, I'm trying to hit everywhere. I definitely got to do another US run, and I want to be able to, you know, perform in some other territories on some other continents that I haven't been before. And just take this album. I think the album, it has several global, I think it has a lot of global appeal, and I want to make sure I touch down on all them places, because the live show, that's my favorite part of like the entertainment business. That's like my strongest ability, is the live show. So it's like being back on stage, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Okay. Yeah.
Outside of performing, in regards to like connecting with fans and whatnot, a lot of people say social media is like the new wave in regards to getting your music outlets out there. Do you feel that's correct? Because like you see a lot of people making dances on TikTok, and then like that's how songs kind of blow up. Do you feel like that's like the new wave?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. It's definitely one of the strongest waves, because you got, everybody can find out about something that you're doing pretty much instantly. It's a pretty wild thing and a wild tool, because we're all using it. All of us to some degree are addicted to it. So it's like, it's just part of like what it is now. It's going to become like water or food, which is kind of sad, but that's just what it is. Yeah, but that's just, so I would definitely say it's the wave of connecting with people, particularly with shows being down. But I don't think nothing will ever beat seeing your favorite artist live in person.
Okay. I think one last question that I do want to ask you, this is in regards to like Def Jam, in regards to labels. I've seen a lot of artists talk about, you know, they put up tweets, the label's not letting me release music, or, oh, you know what I'm saying, don't sign to a label. What's your whole outtake on signing to a label or being affiliated with a record label?
I think every situation, every business dealing is all relative and all individual based, meaning like it depends on whether you should be or shouldn't be with a label is based on your career goals and what stage you're at now. So it's like for some people, it's like, okay, I love rap and I basically want to make a lot of money in it. And they may have a big fan base already. It might not be in your best interest to sign with a major for what your goal is in your career. For other people, it's like, well, I signed up to be the biggest artist in the world. I want to perform in the Netherlands. I want to be big in Africa. I want to be big in all of these other territories. When I studied the history of the game, I don't see a lot of independent artists that's performing in front of 100,000 people overseas. So you're probably going to have to partner up with a major and their network in order to accomplish that goal. So I think it's all relative to what the goals are for you and your team and what stage you're at and what ultimately you want to get out of your career. I feel like for my situation, it was in my best interest to partner up with a record label for what me and my team's goals are.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, as the checks get bigger, right? Because they're going to get bigger. You're an artist, you're a writer. Is there any other outlets that you're going to may or may not want to venture into? Like, let's say like acting, for example. Are you going to look into something like that? Or is it more so like, maybe I got a hobby, like I'm into cars, I'm going to open up a car shop?
Got you. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some different spaces I'm gonna enter into. I think acting is definitely one of them. You know, I had wrote on a comic book, so I'm gonna expand that into being an author, putting out a book or releasing books. There's a few spaces that I want to enter into as I'm continuing to master this space and making music. Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, listen, man, all I want to say is I appreciate you for taking the time out to talk with me. I'm definitely going to be hitting those records on the radio station that I'm on, as well as when I'm inside these clubs. And I'm looking forward to just see your journey of success and just, be a part of it.
Much love, man. Appreciate it, man. Till next time.
All right, good. Thanks.
DJ Tygga Ty in the mix.